What you're about to watch is a special private training session for people who bought a copy of my book, Built to Serve. Enjoy. We're here. Hey. So as usual, we'll start with the topic and then dive into Q&A, and Zane will keep the show rolling when I got a pop at 2:25. So the topic was from Mark Elwood. Hey now. Blast from, how long have we known each other, Mark?
I think go back to 2006 or 7, so 13 years at least.
I remember when I first met you at a Starbucks and you brought your time coder machine and you're kind of introducing Mark does time studies, time tracking.
We got it.
Oh, there it is. So he that's what, the third generation, fourth generation?
Yep.
So he spent a lot. He made that. He's got how many of those? 500? How many do you have of those?
Yeah, 400.
Okay. Hey, my memory's not that bad. Good.
Except one got lost in a lobby by FedEx a little while ago. Oh, well, that's fine.
One or like a shipment?
No, just one.
Okay, that's not the end of the world. Anyway, Mark does productivity and time studies, but his question is about encouraging return visitors to the website for Make Me a Poem. So it's good that you're here so we can kind of workshop it. Can people do, the idea is that they're going to make their own poem and then share it with friends, or what's the concept?
Well, here's the deal. I don't want this to be all about me, so I'll just do this briefly, and then you can talk about websites in general for those who are in that kind of business. So just very briefly, everyone do try this afterwards because I'd like your input. MakeMeAPoem.com. You go there and you can create your own poems just by filling out some questionnaires. And for those of you who are into self-development, there's one on motivate yourself to get more done. There's one on getting yourself out of a slump. And you can do one for your partner, your love partner, and others. After one free poem, then you're asked to register. There's no payment yet. So I'm interested in getting your feedback collectively. So makemeapoem.com. It's fun. It's really kind of neat. Try the one for kids too. There's sound effects and pictures. So I've just started 4 weeks ago. We launched the registration 2 days ago. People are making about 30 poems a day. We're getting 5 or 6 signups a day. So Evan, that's enough of that. You can talk to the group generally about attracting people to your website, about gamification, about monetizing a website. It doesn't have to be just about me. You can talk in general terms.
Cool. Yeah. And listen, welcome everybody. I made this group so that people who've read the book can get value and actually start to execute in the ideas. So we do this every week. Either me, if I'm here, or Zane when I'm not, because it's important to me that you actually take action and don't just have another book sitting on your shelf. What I love doing in any kind of business model is trying to figure out, how do I get people to come back in terms of how do you incorporate this into a regular routine? So, the idea of Make Me Poem is great. And just looking at the website, I think expressing why this matters, like why should I do a poem, would be helpful. So you give the cases of motivate yourself or write a love letter to your partner, but something about the importance of it. People don't default to thinking poems. Like, I don't remember the last time I wrote a poem at all. So I may not be good with words. I've written some books, so I don't know. But having that be something aspirational of why poems are important, and there could be famous quotes from people talking about poems, the value of having connections, all that kind of stuff. But so the why, and then how do we build what we do? And this is beyond the website. It's for everybody. You're trying to build your movement. How do you build what you do into somebody's routine? So if writing the poem is the thing, how do we incorporate a weekly poem or a daily poem or a 30-day poem challenge to find the 30 people that we're most grateful for in our life and send them a poem? And we don't know how to do it, so that we've got this great tool to help us figure out how to do this. Right? So giving it some kind of challenge or some kind of opportunity to help it build into their calendar. Maybe it's the charge is even afterwards. So do a 5-day challenge or a 7-day challenge of picking 5 to 7 people that you want to recognize in your life. And so I'm coming back and I'm doing that every day. And then at the end of that challenge, then you have the option to pay and upgrade and membership or whatever else. I think the more you can incorporate that. So, for me, we're doing a series right now on our main channel, the Billionaire Mindset series. It's a 30-day challenge where every day for 30 days, we're showcasing knowledge from billionaires. So you want to think like a billionaire for 30 days? Join the challenge, right? There's an email sign up. There's a PDF calendar, companion calendar that goes along with it. It's all free, but gets people into the system. So you have your first poem for free. Great. What I see it as, oh, this is a cool one-off because there's nothing that's hooking me to want to come back. Right. So that challenge of, if you said, think of the 7 people that you're most grateful for in your life and you want to recognize them, and then you're giving me prompts like your spouse, your boss, your employees, your team, your family. Give me a list of 100 people that I could think of. Your high school friend, the guy you met in the Starbucks in 2006, or those kinds of things. Yeah.
On that briefly, the next one I'm thinking about is one on appreciation. You may only have one lover in your life, but you've got a lot of people to appreciate. So that's probably the next one, the next poem that I'm going to build.
Yeah. Or I mean, some of these might be for yourself, right? I mean, you said the first one's motivation for yourself. So pick one for yourself, pick one for people in your life, pick one for friends. I think the more you can involve other people too, I think it's especially valuable. If I write a poem for myself, it may not feel as powerful as I write a love poem to Zan. And even if it's a funny one, it's going to get a reaction, right? And then, now that Zan saw it, he's going to give me something back, and it's going to reinforce the feedback loop. Like, oh, this is cool.
Evan, you mentioned the word challenge. Is that the sort of the new gamification? We talked about getting badges and things way back, but now you're talking about challenges. Is that what that's evolved to?
Yeah, I mean, gamification still it's not dead. You can still have challenge badges and points and all that stuff. It's kind of complicated to set up, versus if I came here and I signed up for something that's 7 days instead of just a one-off. And I know in your head, it's not a one-off. The idea is people come here all the time and keep doing this as part of their regular routine. But if I'm landing on this page, I just feel like it's a one-off that I might do for somebody. And so that's the challenge for you, is to say, no, this is something that you should be doing regularly. And here's how you get started. So you make it super easy to get started. So give me a list of 7 people. One is for yourself. I would probably do like day 7, the last one for myself. I want to involve other people as soon as possible. If I made up a love poem for Nina and she freaks out, that's gonna reinforce my belief that this is valuable. And I'm gonna come back the next day and do something else. So, but people need help, just like they need help writing the poem, they need help thinking of who to send this to. Okay. So I need a list of types of people, right? Load your high school yearbook and find somebody. Like you can give a list of 100 different kinds of people that you could send a poem to. And then that becomes a challenge for the next 7 days. Is it sent through your system, or they have to send it themselves?
We can build something. We're talking about building something where we would email the poem to someone. Okay. But right now you just download it yourself.
Got it. Yeah. So even if they put in their email address, like have the poem emailed to you, that if I type it in, then the poem gets emailed to me. Now you have my email address so that you can send me future stuff. I think that'd be valuable. So, I mean, it's for everybody too, whether you're doing poems or something else. Somebody's landing on your piece of content. How do you hook them to want to join you for a set number of days? Because if I'm coming back every day doing something for a week, I'm much more likely to stick. I'm much more likely to talk about it. And the more you can involve somebody else on day 1 versus motivate yourself to get stuff done. Like I'm going to send a poem of appreciation to Mark Elwood, and he writes back, says how amazing that is. The more you can connect people together, the better. One of the new things I'm doing to Movement Makers. So if you join Movement Makers, we created a new onboarding sequence where you join Movement Makers. I send you a video DM to say, hey, welcome to Movement Makers. So excited to have you. Can't wait to have your next training. I'm following you back on Instagram. Welcome aboard. Somebody just wrote back today to say, I can't believe you sent that personal message. I'm in tears. I appreciate you so much. Like that took me 12 seconds to send that video DM, but she's already a lot more interested in what we're doing. What happens the next week is I'll then send another video DM to introduce them to the men I send to Zan and the woman I send to Angela. So a new woman joins. I say, hey, Susan, welcome to Overmakers again. I want to quickly introduce you to Angela. Angela's in the group. She's been with us forever. She's awesome. I want you to connect on a quick Zoom call. One, so that you don't feel alone when you come to Movement Makers, your first meeting, you're not by yourself. You have somebody to connect with. And two, just to help you get the most out of the program, she can answer any questions. It's not a sales pitch, you're already in, but she can help answer any questions you got on how to get the most out of this membership. And so that's maybe, 3 videos. It takes me 45 seconds to say that message and send. So now they have somebody else. They both have somebody else that they know, so that when they join Movement Makers, some people are stressed out, overwhelmed, like, oh my God, did I do the right thing? But then they see Zan, like, oh yeah, I talked to Zan last week. He was amazing. I can't wait to go on. It's not just me they're hearing from, it's somebody else who's already in the community. And so the faster you can get connection to others beyond just you, it increases adoption, it increases the habit. So back to the poem website, the first thing I would love to do is have my first poem be to whoever the most important person is in my life. And maybe that's for me, it'd be Nina, but it could be my parents. It could be my children. It could be my partner. Pick somebody, like, who's the most important person in your life? And that's the first poem that I send. And hopefully I get a little emotional doing it, and they get a little emotional in receiving it. And now we've created a new habit loop that we want people to jump into. Cool. Good topic. Good topic. Okay, what else? We still got some time before Zane takes over. What do you guys got?
Good question, Evan.
Yep.
Views on YouTube. You and I have talked about this before with my YouTube channel. I have a utility channel.
Yep. Teaching people how to pass driving exams.
Yes.
Yes.
We're just about to hit 200,000 subscribers.
Wow, look at that. Congrats.
30 million views. We're honing in on 30 million views.
Awesome.
So just a quick overview. So since I'm not really after subscribers, I'm in the SEO game, as you said, which was the light bulb going on in my life.
In your life? Wow. Okay, great.
Well, it was like, which is my business, right? My business life, I guess.
Yeah.
So what's a quick overview of how to get more views, how to get more eyeballs on my videos in YouTube without getting subscribers?
It's all about the keywords for you. So I'm trying to remember, were you doing by state, or was it just generic?
That's what I'm working on right now, is the state stuff. I'm implementing that. It took me a little while to get going on that, but I'm currently implementing that. So we're going after those keywords of how to pass the driver's test in California, Texas, Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. So definitely the big states first, and then working your way down to all of them. Okay. I don't know if it matters for cities. Like I would go and let me just type this in. So you're smart drive test.
Yes.
Okay, let me find you. Smart drive test.
The other thing I've done recently with videos, because I put one video up a week, I've been going to my competitors.
Yeah. And
looking at their most popular videos.
Yep.
And doing those topics, and that's been successful.
So how to pass the road test. So yeah, I mean, it's popping up BC, Alberta for me because I'm Canadian. It's funny that's showing up before Ontario, which is my state. So looking at this, right? You have New York, and then you have NY. Road test in 3D driving class? I don't even know what that is. I don't know if I want to know what that is.
It's like a simulator.
Yeah. Do you do that? Do you cover that too?
No, I don't cover simulators. I don't think that my personal opinion is they don't work.
Okay. Well, you can make a video on that. So these are the big, like New York, Massachusetts, Florida, Georgia, in Minnesota. Like you're taking these exact keywords, but then the next level down is stuff like this, like how to pass the road test in Wayne, New Jersey.
Okay.
And there may be no difference, like what's the difference between Wayne, New Jersey and New Jersey?
None.
It could be exactly the same thing, right? But from a search perspective, this is weird advice. It's something that most of you shouldn't follow, because Rick, as much as he's got 200,000 subscribers, actually doesn't care about subscribers. This is a pure SEO play, so the keywords matter. So if I type that in, I don't know what shows up. Like this guy has 385,000 views on this video with 600 subscribers.
Yeah.
I don't know what Rahway is. Is that a city in New Jersey?
I don't know. I haven't heard of that.
Now I'm curious. I get to dive into all these. Yeah, it's in New Jersey, right? So because he made this video, like this should be you.
Okay.
He made this video that put Rahway in the title, and he's got 385,000 views on this nothing channel just because I put in Wayne, New Jersey.
That video, Evan, is also 5 years old.
That's fine.
So, but like you said, we could definitely do that.
Yeah, I mean, but there'll be lots, like Rahway seems to be, a title. It's interesting. Yeah, that's fine that it's old. It's still being recommended.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely correct.
And the beautiful thing is, like, has things changed that much in the past 5 years that really warrants a new video? Probably not.
The only thing that's changed in the last 5 years is backup cameras.
Okay, so great. This is why this video is still crushing for them. This guy's business probably isn't even. Let's see, what is he doing? Oh, he's doing some other videos. So he's teaching people how to drive. A lot of these are too short. 50 seconds, 1 minute. But yeah, so I mean, we just found this because I put how to pass the road test, and then that popped up.
Mm-hmm.
So
you just said these are too short. What do you mean by too short?
I'd be looking at, I mean, for him, at least 5-minute videos, if not 8 to 10 to 12-minute videos explaining. You can even repurpose a lot of the content, Rick.
Yes.
Slightly different videos. Say, hey, I would start with the thing. If you're looking to pass your test in Wayne, New Jersey, I'm going to show you how in this video. And then the rest is the same video. Because it's all the same stuff. Like it's New Jersey, but you hook me in the beginning where this thumbnail says Wayne, New Jersey on the thumbnail, and you say that in the intro, and then that's a different enough video for YouTube, as long as there's something slightly different.
All I have to redo is just reshoot the 20-second intro.
Yeah. Now, if there's actually a difference between New Jersey and California, then fine. Then
again, it's a slight difference. The only difference is they don't parallel park in California. They back up 50 feet along a curb. So that's the only difference.
Right. So you could be popping out 20 videos a day, all on different cities. And then when somebody's searching, you're gonna be that guy that shows up because they're searching for their own. They feel like Wayne, New Jersey is different. Even though you know that it's not, they don't know that it's not.
So this is the other piece that I have planned, Evan. As soon as this COVID thing is over and I can go back to the States,
mm-hmm.
I'm going to just travel to the top 10 states in the US, and I'm going to do a driver's video in each one of those states. And then I can, like you just said, I can repurpose each one of those videos to nail all 50 states.
Yeah. But I mean, you could start now and just do a version 2.
Okay.
Just back to the timing, Evan, did you think that you need 8 to 12 minutes to teach someone properly? Or are you talking about the YouTube algorithms? And
algorithm. Yeah, I mean, it's algorithm. It doesn't matter so much for Rick because he's going so long tail that, like, I put in Wayne, New Jersey, and the Rahway, New Jersey video popped up because YouTube's smart enough to know that Rahway is close to Wayne somehow, right? There's not enough people making content. So he could probably win with shorter videos, but in general, if you're making longer videos, it does better on YouTube. I would, it's not just to teach, it's to actually rank better in the algorithm. So
what are you aiming for, Evan, on yours?
We're going for an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like we're going long, but I would say at least 10 minutes. And what's great about Rick's thing is it's the same video. So you could do it. You could do a 10-minute video, make it really good, or 15, 20-minute video, make it really good. People will watch if you're teaching them step by step. Like put an effort into really making it good, like the best thing. And there's not a lot of good quality anyway on it, so it's not that hard to be the best. But I would hire a videographer, come with you, make it high quality, And then you could even just cut pieces. If you just took some random streets that doesn't look like anywhere, you don't have to be in California. It could be anywhere. Some random street where you don't see the street signs and say, oh, that doesn't look like Wayne, New Jersey or whatever. It's just totally could be any city in America, any side street. And then film there and make that your base. And then if you have to splice in or out content around, okay, well, California, we're going to do parallel parking, and that gets cut in, and you're going to take that part out for New Jersey.
And the other thing, Evan, just on that comment about longer videos.
Yeah.
I was looking at one of my competitors this morning. Their most popular video is an hour and 14 minutes.
Oh yeah, people will watch.
Video that's just going over multiple choice questions for the learner's test.
Yep.
And it's got almost 1 million views in 1 year.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, I need to do this video.
and then do it by state. Even if it's the exact same questions, people will think it's different because they're going to YouTube to find.
Yeah. I don't know what it is weird about that. What the mental block I have about that, doing the exact same video, but saying this is for New Jersey, this is for California. I have some mental block with that. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's my upper limit problem.
You're just flip it to service. You're helping people. This is what people are searching for, and there's not enough content on it. The good news is you don't have to make it fancy, or because there's not a lot of content out there on this. People aren't really committing to doing it. So you could win with you could sit there, like your background area looks beautiful. You look like you know what you're doing. You're a guy who's obsessed with driving, obviously, by just looking at your background. So you could even just sit there and do it, especially those multiple choice ones.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. And just splash up a New Jersey something on the side, like, put it on in the editing. It's giving the value to the consumer. They're searching for it. You want to give it to them.
Yeah.
And then that promotes what you're ultimately selling, a course, right? Or a program.
Pass your driver's test first time.
Yeah. So again, for this, it's totally different than most YouTube advice I would give, because people don't want to subscribe. I mean, you already got 200,000 subscribers, but people don't. Why am I going to subscribe to a how to drive? Like, it's a moment in time for people's lives.
Oh, no, exactly. No, you're spot on. You're spot on, because they're there sort of 6 to 8 weeks, 80% of them, and then they're gone.
Yeah. The only people who would really subscribe and watch are other driving school teachers who want to see the latest content that you're coming up with. So even if somebody does subscribe, great. A year later, they're not watching the content anymore, hopefully, because they passed the test. Although I failed my driving test, I think 5 times. So I could have used your program. There's always something, not the written. I aced the written, the actual driving. I got too nervous and I just messed up a bunch of times, and I could have used your help and guidance on that. But again, I wouldn't have trusted you. Like, oh, this guy's where's he from? Oh, he's American. Okay, you can't help me. Right? I would have typed Ontario, not knowing that it's probably pretty much the same across Canada.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Lady Lexi also failed her driver's test. So there you go. Perfect. I don't feel so alone. Cool.
You only fail if you give up and don't go and get your license. If you got your license, you didn't fail. You were just unsuccessful at that attempt.
I failed to the point where on my last one I failed, and then they gave me my next test was going to be past the expiry date of my license was going to expire, but my test was afterwards. So they gave me a temporary license just for that day, so that I could drive there and do the exam. And luckily I passed that. And I've never been in like accidents or tickets or anything. Like, I'm a great driver. I don't know why I couldn't. It was anxiety or pressure of having somebody in the car with me.
Test, Evan? Was it in Toronto?
I went a little outside the city. I learned, because they're a lot harder in the big city, where if you go a little outside, they're nicer and friendlier. So I slowly learned that. You
know what else I learned a couple of weeks ago was that if you go to Toronto, the test is probably only 10 minutes. It's like if you go to New York City, it's only 8 minutes. Whereas if you go to someplace outside the city, that's a small town, they got all the time in the world. Your test will be like 45 minutes long.
Okay. I passed outside the city, so I'll take that. They were nicer, but I could have used all your hacks. Luckily, I got my test, and I'm 41 and don't have to worry about doing that again. But even when I get to my 70s and I'm forced to take them again, then I'll
actually, when you're 80, you have a mandatory test.
Yeah, that could be that's another category, like seniors and also like kids of the seniors trying to research, how do I help my 80-year-old father or grandfather pass his test? If there's any specifics around that, I'd look at that as content too. If you want to get a copy of Built to Serve and join us live for our next training with me to ask your questions, you can go get the book right there next to me, right there. I'll see you there. I'll see you to get the book. It's a good one. Much love.